This is Chris Elliott with RE/MAX Action Real Estate coming at you today with your July 2018 market update. Hope everybody's having a wonderful summer. Hopefully your air conditioning is working. I know it's pretty muggy today. So anyway, I wanted to come at you today, as we do always. We'll start off with a couple stats. Just looking back a month to June, and then also comparing that to June of last year. So closed sales were actually down about 5.5% from June of last year, meaning there were less transactions, 5% less the same time last year. Median days on market is actually 8 days, which is down 27% from last year. So literally homes on average, or on median I should say, are taking about 8 days to go under contract. And of course there's another 30 to 45 days typically to close. The median ask price to sold price of what a home is listed for versus what it actually sells for is 100%, so that's phenomenal. Average sales price is actually up from $300,000 to $315,000 this year. So on average, home values went up about $15,000 from last year, which is great. Month supply of inventory is at 2.20 months supply of inventory, so we are still very much in a red hot seller's market. Another thing that I want to share with you guys, we don't really have any stats on this yet, but I've been hearing this. A lot of folks have been talking about that we're due for a shift in the market. In other words, for the last couple of years, prices have been skyrocketing. Interest rates have been, historically low. Inventory has been limited, and home values have been going up and up and up. You can only do that so long before the market has to correct itself, has to slow down. We've been hearing through the different agent networks that I'm a part of across the country that we're starting to see the market slow down a little bit in some of the more progressive forward markets like New York, California, Southern Florida, kind of markets that are usually ahead of the curve as far as market shifts. We're starting to see things slow down a little bit in those markets. So I don't think anything's to a point yet where anybody can call it of, hey, this is where, the shift is here. But folks have been saying for a couple of years now that it's coming. It's due to come, soon, probably within the next 2 years, but we could be experiencing the very early stages of that. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, but just wanted to share that. So what does this all mean to you as a buyer or a seller? So as a seller, one of the conversations that I'm having with a lot of folks right now is, hey, you're hearing all these amazing stats, homes are flying off the shelf, inventory is limited, prices are going up, on and on and on. You're even seeing it on the news now. Saw a story the other night. But for you, if you're living in Central Virginia, recognize the time of year that we're in. So I'm shooting this right now on July the 18th. So we've got about 45 days left of our summer market. Pretty much, once the kids go back to school, usually the first week of September, not to say our market falls off the kitchen table, but it does slow down, and there are a good chunk of buyers that do fall out of the pool, especially towards the higher end of the market, folks that are very school centric that say, hey, look, we tried to get a house, we wanted to get the kids in the new school district, but now that we're in it, let's just pack it up, let's try it next year. So recognize the time of year. So if you've been somebody that's been, thinking about getting your house on the market and you just keep putting it off, now is the time to put it in third gear. And we've been talking about this the last month or so, but go ahead, get the property up on the market. I'm recommending my clients or folks that have been holding out, whatnot. You don't want to hit the market any later than August 1. August is really the last push of the summer selling season. We had a great fall last year. We're probably going to have another good one this year, but it's just not the same thing as that last push during the summer season. So recognize that. Also, too, if you're somebody that's on the market right now and your price has been too much, or you've been getting price objections, the property hasn't sold, if you've got condition issues with the property, stuff needs to be fixed up, now is the time to go ahead and make those adjustments so that you're positioned properly to get your property sold before we get into September. So that's what it means for you. For buyers, what we've seen in the last 2 to 3 weeks or so, we've actually seen the market slow down just a hair, and it happens every summer with a lot of folks that just turn the search off for a couple weeks. They go on vacation. Maybe they've been getting burnt out because, hey, I've lost the last 4 or 5 houses I've been going after. But recognize that it's going to heat up here once we hit into August, because you're going to have that push. Everybody that says, hey, if we're going to do it, before the start of the school year, we got to do it now. So recognize over these next 2 weeks, you have a good opportunity to scoop up a property if you can find something that works for you. And then also realize that the fall is coming. So, if you've been getting beat out, you've been getting frustrated, you've been losing, properties, losing bids, recognize that it is going to slow down a little bit once we get into September, October, November. As a buyer, historically, those are the best months to buy just because while inventory goes down a little bit, there's less buyers that you're competing with. And the folks that are on the market are either leftover from the summer or folks that just don't want to wait or can't wait until the next year. So sometimes, not all sellers, but you will find more motivated sellers in the fall and the winter months. So hope that helps. I know this is a little bit of a longer one this week, or this month rather, but I hope you found it informative. I look forward to seeing you next month. Have a good rest of your summer.